core in the urban center of the city. But that's why we said from the very beginning, this is going to help all parts of the city, and the model that we are creating in the hotels and others will be replicated in other parts of the county as well.
Another question from Lisa. Some of the folks who saw photos at Golden Hall yesterday, including homeless advocates, have raised concerns about spacing of beds in the city's new Golden Hall facility. Can you respond to that?
So when we held the press conference there, we had not finished the setup. So we hadn't put the bedding on those yet, so they are very intentionally going.
I'm Maya Trabulsi, and you've been watching a special news conference from San Diego city officials about the coronavirus. We will bring you the latest news on this crisis next on Evening Edition. New numbers on local COVID-19 cases are expected at any moment, and tonight the county says it will include the second local death. That's among the headlines tonight. The county health department says the latest death was a person in their 70s with underlying health conditions. New cases also include 2 infants. Also today, the County Board of Supervisors approved a moratorium on evictions for residents and small businesses in unincorporated areas. It's similar to action taken by the city of San Diego. And moments ago, Mayor Kevin Faulconer and Baja California is closing its bars and theaters to help contain the spread.
I can't emphasize the importance enough of this decision. It is something that we have been working on collaboratively to ensure that we move towards that model of one set of precautions, both in San Diego and on the other side of the border.
San Diego Sheriff Bill Gore also spoke today on the issue of gun shops remaining open. He says there are no plans to close them down, despite their not being listed as essential business under the state emergency order. The sheriff says shops will be allowed to operate as long as they take steps to ensure social distancing by staff and customers. The World Health Organization predicts the United States has the potential to be the next epicenter of the coronavirus. Congress and the White House are working on a roughly $2 trillion plan to help Americans and businesses get through the pandemic. As Camila Bernal reports, lawmakers are very close to a deal.
The coronavirus pandemic forcing about a third of the world's population into some kind of lockdown. In the United States, more than 40% of people are under stay-at-home orders.
We think we have the chance to significantly reduce the spread of the coronavirus.
Some companies changing their business models to help Americans. Pizza Hut, Amazon, and Walmart are just some of the businesses hiring more workers. Ford is working with other companies to produce masks and ventilators, equipment medical professionals desperately need.
By the middle of May, we could be making hundreds of thousands of these ventilators.
On Capitol Hill, the White House and Congress furiously negotiating a stimulus package to help people cope with the pandemic.
It's the most serious threat to Americans' health in over a century.
The roughly $2 trillion plan would provide a jolt to the economy and give aid to hard-hit workers and industries.
And hopefully we can get it over the finish line.
As the days go by without a compromise, the tense divide between Republicans and Democrats grows stronger. But now a bit of optimism as both sides hope a deal may be done soon.
We are very, very pleased with what seems to be moving forward in the bill. In the bipartisan bill.
Camila Bernal, KPBS News.
News that Congress is moving closer to approving a stimulus package spurred a massive rally on Wall Street. The Dow surged more than 2,000 points, its biggest ever point gain. President Donald Trump says he is hoping the United States will be reopened by Easter. New data from the San Diego Workforce Partnership shows nearly 200,000 Californians filed for unemployment in the first few days of business closures. More layoffs and restrictions could be on the way as cases of coronavirus continue to rise. KPBS reporter Matt Hoffman shows us how businesses are trying to find ways to keep their doors open and their staff employed.
We have to do a core amount of sales to be able to keep the wheels going. You know, I mean, I still have people that are on the payroll that I'm trying to keep employed rather than send to the unemployment line, like I've had to do with a lot of our staff, and it sucks having to fire or get rid of good people for no reason of their own.
Brant Crenshaw is the co-owner of Social Tap in downtown. He's had to lay off nearly all of his staff.
They've all been extremely understanding. They are all in the industry. They're seeing all their friends in the industry have the same fate right now.
Only a handful remain as the restaurant is now trying to change its business model.
Dine-in was probably 95% of our, on-site sales. We didn't do a big takeout business before.
Now it's 100% takeout and delivery under coronavirus restrictions, and Crenshaw is trying to be creative to help bring back business.
Add a six-pack, add a, bag of beef jerky, add, a margarita, things like that where we're not making money on the booze side of it, but it's a added value for these value meals. I mean, today we're doing a taco bar that's going to feed easy 6 people, plus a 32-ounce margarita for $40.
I got what you want, all right? I promise you. I got rolls for days.
He's also handing out a roll of toilet paper with orders and is even selling his food outside the restaurant at Crest Liquor in Crown Point.
I have a deli here, I have cases, how do we get you in the store? And he came up with the idea of doing grab and goes. So these wings are killer, like they have some of the best wings in San Diego. I'm a little biased obviously, but they're amazing.
Social Tap has had its to-go meals at Crest Liquor for about a week and have already had to restock.
So right now we're at $8.99 and $7.99 depending on which grab and go you go, and it's a substantial amount of food.
Crenshaw is hoping to get into more retail stores soon.
Honestly, I just, I'm trying to think outside the box and figure out how we can sell more food and, keep my staff, moving.
If he can build up his to-go and retail business, he'll be able to hire back more staff.
We're working our butt off to try to get these people back to work so we can flip our business on its head, get the money coming back in so we can hire our people back.
But Crenshaw is fearful that as restrictions continue, restaurants will close and more workers will be laid off.
I would definitely encourage people to support restaurant, not only ours, but restaurants that they like and go to and frequent, if they want to see that place open back up when this is all over.
Crenshaw says if people don't support restaurants now, some will close and never reopen. Matt Hoffman, KPBS News.
San Diego began another day under the COVID-19 shutdown, and a popular escape is no longer viable. KPBS reporter Eric Anderson says San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer shut down local beaches, and people are heeding the call.
Friendly reminder, folks, our boardwalks and beaches are closed. Thank you.
Really, the only people that are on the beach or on the sand right now are police officers on the boardwalk, who, as you just heard, are encouraging people not to be on the boardwalk, and lifeguards who are on the sand who are telling people not to be on the sand. But this is not at all what this area looks like on a typical day. In fact, we have some video footage we can show you right now. It's a better look at what this area normally looks like. It does not look like that today. One thing you normally would see in the water here at Ocean Beach is surfers, people out there enjoying the great waves that are located in this part of Southern California. Those people are not here today.
People like me that love to walk the beach alone, I don't get to do that, but I kind of understand why they're doing it, but I just hope it's not for too long.
The beach isn't the only casualty today. This facility is also closed. It's the only public restroom.
There's about 100 homeless people that hang around here a lot, and I'm just wondering where they're going to go to the bathroom. I think we know where that's going to go, and that's going to create problems, I think.
The people who make their living along the beach and along the boardwalk, obviously not here today. Those businesses closed down because of the mayor's order. But they do hope that at some point in the future they will be able to return to the beach, return to the boardwalk, and return to their jobs. Eric Anderson, KPBS News.
And so here's a reminder of what is still open: gas stations, pharmacies, grocery stores, farmers markets, food banks, convenience stores, takeout and delivery from restaurants. Also open are banks, laundromats, and laundry services. Essential state and local government functions continue as well, including law enforcement and offices that provide government programs and services. And the businesses that remain closed currently include dine-in restaurants, bars and nightclubs, entertainment venues, gyms, public events, convention centers, and hair and nail salons. The Trump administration's controversial Remain in Mexico program has been placed on hold for at least a month due to the coronavirus pandemic. KPBS reporter Max Rivlin-Nadler has the story.
For the past 2 weeks, as schools, businesses, and government offices closed down to stem the spread of coronavirus, immigration courts in San Diego have remained open for asylum seekers in the Remain in Mexico program. They were being bussed up daily from Tijuana for court hearings in the U.S. before being returned to Mexico. Public health experts worried that this process was helping spread the coronavirus to Mexico. Last Friday, immigration judges postponed the Remain in Mexico hearings in protest of the federal government's refusal to close the courts. On Monday, the federal government finally relented. The U.S. Department of Justice issued a statement saying all Remain in Mexico hearings have been postponed to at least April 22nd due to COVID-19, and went on to say that asylum seekers with court dates during this time should come to the port of entry to receive new court dates. But immigrant advocates believe this leaves an already vulnerable group at risk during a public health emergency. Monica Langarica is an attorney with the ACLU of San Diego and Imperial counties.
We know that in Tijuana and in Mexican border cities generally, people are stuck in situations and in communities where they have a very serious lack of access to really essential resources. Right, so we know that folks are sort of forced to live in, many people are forced to live in these very highly concentrated, very dense shelters, where because of the close quarters that people have to live in, their risk of contagion is heightened.
Langarica and other advocates have called on the Trump administration to accept people in the Remain in Mexico program into the U.S. while their asylum cases wind through the courts, which was the practice before last year. Max Rivlin-Nadler, KPBS News.
As the coronavirus takes hold, leaders of local governments and school districts across San Diego County and the state are bracing for financial challenges. iNewsSource investigative reporter Mary Plummer has more.
The COVID-19 pandemic is hitting at a time when most officials are preparing for the upcoming fiscal year. They must figure out a path forward. Budget deadlines are usually June 30th. Up and down the state, billions of dollars in funding for public safety, roads, schools, public health, and more is at stake. San Diego County was projected to have more than $2.2 billion in its general fund balance at the end of this fiscal year, but that was before the COVID-19 outbreak. Here's County Board of Supervisors Chairman Greg Cox.
Our highest priority is public safety, and we will spend whatever we need to spend in order to make sure that the citizens of San Diego County get the services and programs, the health assistance that they need. And the cost at this point is not going to be a factor.
San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer has said the impact to the city's budget is, quote, far greater than those of 9/11. For KPBS, I'm iNewsSource investigative reporter Mary Plummer.
For more on this story, go to iNewsSource.org. And iNewsSource is an independently funded nonprofit partner of KPBS. San Diego Unified is now serving food to children at 3 additional locations. The district's Food and Nutrition Services is handing out meals at 13 drive-through or walk-up distribution centers. Families can pick up the free food between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. You can find all the locations on our website, kpbs.org. A lot of people are having trouble feeding their pets as well. KPBS reporter John Carroll shows us how the Humane Society is helping.
Here for some dog and cat food? Dog?
In front of the Humane Society, volunteers and staff are living up to the Society's name by doing something truly humane for our 4-legged friends.
So we're here as a resource and as a safety net for our community. We want to keep pets out of the shelter, so we're here providing pet food daily from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. to any family that is short of that resource.
I'll do one big bag for you guys.
The Humane Society program that Geraldine Da Silva heads, PAWS San Diego, typically helps low-income people with their pet food and supply needs. But now the need has grown because in many places the shelves are empty.
Either the lines are long and we have 5 kids at home, or
there's no dog food, no cat food at the Walmarts.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not there just in time to get it, it's gone.
Hi, here for some food?
Animal care specialist Cassie Edmond is usually inside working at the Humane Society. Today she's outside and loving it.
I feel like I'm making a difference today and just helping people that really need it. You know, some people can't go out and go to Walmart and stand in line, so we're their resource and helping them out.
As long as their stockpile holds out, the Humane Society will continue giving out food every day between 10 and 4. The Humane Society is distributing pet food and supplies at more than just its 3 campuses here in San Diego and Oceanside and Escondido. They're also sending out those supplies to the San Diego Food Bank, to Elder Help, and to the San Diego Unified School District, and they are then distributing those supplies. Yet another way that the community is coming together in the age of COVID-19. John Carroll, KPBS News.
As California scrambles to get protective gear for healthcare workers and first responders, 2 San Diego hospitals are launching donation drives. Today, UC San Diego Health launched a donation website, which is on your screen. They're accepting donations of personal protective equipment, some food, and other items for healthcare workers. And Sharp Healthcare is starting a drive-through donation drive tomorrow. You can visit any of the hospital's locations in San Diego, La Mesa, Coronado, and Chula Vista. Stop by between 9 and 4, Monday through Friday, or from 4 to on Saturdays, noon to 4 on Saturdays, rather. Some of the equipment needed by both hospitals includes disposable face masks, N95 masks, safety goggles, disposable gowns, gloves, hand sanitizer, and infrared thermometers. The hospitals are not accepting home-sewn masks at this time. On Election Day, San Diego County was still a week away from officially reporting community spread of the coronavirus, but it now appears that the days before and after the March 3rd primary were the beginning of an outbreak that sickened several people in the local Democratic Party. KPBS reporter Claire Tregesser has details.
4 people, including San Diego County Democratic Party Chairman Will Rodriguez Kennedy, have tested positive for the virus. 2 of them, Rodriguez Kennedy and Chula Vista Councilman Steve Padilla, are in intensive care at local hospitals. The others, San Diego City Council District 9 candidate Kelvin Barrios and campaign staffer Johan Espinoza, are recovering at home. Other people active in the party are also showing symptoms of COVID-19 and self-quarantining. But as of now, there are no reports of more positive tests. That's according to party spokeswoman Eva Posner.
It hit right at the peak of GOTV when the campaigns and the party were knocking on doors, attending rallies, and spending the most time out in the field and with each other.
Posner says the 4 who did test positive spent time together on election night and at events before and after the election.
We all naturally spend a lot of time together, but we also spend a lot of time out in the community, especially our candidates and elected officials. So it could have come from anywhere, and it could have spread in several different ways.
In other parts of the country, health officials have been looking for super spreading events, including a party for 50 people in Westport, Connecticut, that left half the guests sick with the virus. The number of cases from San Diego election-related events have not approached that level, or even the CDC definition of a cluster of cases. Posner says she hopes it doesn't get to that point, and that the biggest concern right now is not politics, but personal.
We're all really worried for our colleagues and our friends who are ill, and we're really hoping that everybody gets better and, gets back to work quickly.
Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.
San Diego prosecutors are cracking down on hate crimes and scammers trying to take advantage of people during this global pandemic. Local law enforcement agencies are responding to reports of discrimination and harassment against Asian Americans related to COVID-19. They're also targeting price gouging of products like food, hand sanitizer, and protective masks. San Diego City Attorney Mara Elliott says her office is working with city, state, and federal agencies to hold those people accountable. The Better Business Bureau also has a new tool to help keep you from becoming a victim. Mandy Gaither has more.
The worst times can bring out the worst in people. Even during a global pandemic, scammers are out to get unsuspecting victims. But the Better Business Bureau now has a way for you to submit and track scams online. Go to bbb.org/scam tracker. On the left of the screen where it says search for scams, go to the scam type section and click on COVID-19. There are at least 25 scams in multiple states and Canada reported on the site already. Many victims say they paid for face masks online, never got them, and could no longer contact the seller. One victim says they lost $400 because of that scam. Others say they paid for but never received disinfectant wipes. Scammers are also reportedly trying to get personal information for fictitious things like coronavirus disability or offers for COVID-19 compensation. Anyone who's come across a scam can report it on this website, which will allow the Better Business Bureau to investigate it and make others who visit the site more aware.
And that was Mandy Gaither reporting. We're following all of the latest coronavirus developments for you at kpbs.org. Click on the Tracking COVID-19 link on our homepage and you'll be taken to a page with all of our recent reports. You can find that right now at kpbs.org. San Diego State University moves another step closer to building a new stadium in Mission Valley. Today, the Cal State University Board of Trustees signed off on SDSU's design and financing plan. The multi-use facility would hold 35,000 people and is estimated to cost $310 million. It's part of the larger SDSU Mission Valley campus master plan approved by the trustees in January. And we got to see the sun out and shining for part of the day, but another storm could be bringing more rain. Justin Pavic has our forecast.
Also, changes coming up over the course of the next couple of days. Onshore flow in the short term. This is going to be pushing some moisture inland. We'll be talking about showers as well as some mountain snow as we venture our way in toward midweek, as well as another change to some milder air and some sunshine returning by week's end. Let's talk about the short-term conditions here. Rain returning to areas off toward our north, especially from the Bay Area toward the Sierra Nevada and also the Siskiyous. Looking at the snow from I-80 on northbound, especially, say, over 2,500 to 3,000 feet. For us, quiet now. We're going to be talking about some changes as we venture into Wednesday afternoon. So here's a look at Futurecast. I'll step out of the way. And again, conditions looking at some cloudy skies. Again, we'll be talking about, again, cool temperatures here through early Wednesday. And then another round of light rain and mountain snow, mainly Wednesday afternoon through Thursday night. Some of those snow levels getting all the way down to 3,500 feet at their lowest. But again, this is light precipitation coming back in. So mainly quiet night coming up here. Lots of clouds. Again, as we talk about Oceanside and again, south and eastbound as we look at Ramona, also toward Mount Laguna. Temperatures here falling off into the upper 30s. Notice the dip of the jet stream. Cool and turning unsettled as we venture our way into tomorrow. Some of those showers spreading inland as we go into the afternoon. So again, looking at the wet weather pressing its way from the shoreline out east. Not yet, again, toward the mountainous terrain, but we will see, again, like I said, those snow levels dropping to about 3,500 feet here Wednesday night to Thursday. Along with that, some spotty showers coming up. Temperature is going to be a little cooler here the next couple of days, but there's the bounce back somewhat as highs climb back into the mid-60s Saturday into Sunday. Inland as well. Best chance for showers here Wednesday night to Thursday. Temperatures climbing over the weekend. There's your snow showers. Snow level 3,500 feet mountainous locations and throughout the deserts a warm up by this weekend. For KPBS News, I'm meteorologist Justin Pavic.
A doctor at George Washington University Hospital wants everyone to know exactly how COVID-19 can damage your lungs. He created a virtual rendering of lungs from an actual patient being treated at the hospital. And as Heather Graff reports, he thinks it has a powerful message for the public.
So we can see it front to back, side to side.
It's a first-of-its-kind view inside the lungs of a patient with COVID-19.
This patient is a gentleman in his late 50s who initially had a fever and a non-productive cough like many other people.
A patient at George Washington University Hospital in the district.
Respiratory symptoms progressed quite rapidly to the point where he did need to be intubated and put on the ventilator.
And this is a virtual reality 360-degree rendering that shows exactly what the virus does to the human body.
So what you're seeing in the video, essentially the blue part is the more normal lung. But anything that you're seeing is in yellow is lung that is being destroyed by the virus.
Dr. Keith Mortman is the chief of thoracic surgery at GW Hospital, and in partnership with a company called Surgical Theater, he used a coronavirus patient's CAT scan to create this interactive model.
It's quite alarming to see, in all honesty, because unlike your garden variety pneumonia that might affect only one small part of the lung, or unlike the common flu, what you're seeing in this video is really the widespread diffuse damage to the lungs.
Mortman's hope is that the technology can help medical professionals on the front lines, but he also wants members of the public to see these images for themselves.
It's really to educate them.
Because he says this perspective should open everyone's eyes to the dangers of COVID-19.
I really want them to be able to see this and understand the damage that's being done to the lungs, the severity of the disease that this is causing. So perhaps maybe they think twice before having a house party or going outside with large groups.
That was Heather Graff reporting. This summer's Olympic Games, the latest victim of the coronavirus. The 2020 Games will now be postponed by roughly a year. Japan's Prime Minister and the President of the International Olympic Committee agreed on the unprecedented move today. The Games have never been canceled during peacetime, only during the wars in 1916, 1940, and 44. And we want to remind you about a partnership between KPBS and the San Diego Unified School District. It's called At Home Learning, where children matter. Just by turning on the TV to KPBS2 or any of the channels on your screen, students can watch PBS content designed by their grade level on a block schedule. Grades pre-K through third grade can watch from 6 to 8 a.m. Grades 4 through 8 can watch from 8 to 1 p.m. And high school content will be broadcast from 1 to 6 p.m. There's also an online library that can be accessed on any smartphone, tablet, or computer, and you can find that at PBS LearningMedia.org.
I'm Judy Woodruff. Tonight on the NewsHour, India locks down 1.3 billion citizens. The Olympics are postponed, and the New York rate of COVID-19 infections skyrockets. Coming up at 7 after Evening Edition, KPBS.
And an update now on our top story. New numbers on local COVID-19 cases are expected. Actually, we just heard that there's 242. And tonight, the county says it will include a second local death. The county health department says the latest death was a person in their 70s with underlying health conditions. New cases also include 2 infants as well. Also today, the County Board of Supervisors approved a moratorium on evictions for residents and small businesses in unincorporated areas. It's similar to action taken by the city of San Diego. And you can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. From all of us here at KPBS, stay safe and good night.